We need to talk about Marvel Rivals matchmaking again. When the game came out, the devs said that they want this game to be casual, which I think is fine. They're not going to focus on the competitive aspect. It's going to be in the game, but it's not their focus. I think that's totally fine. It's causing a lot of problems that people I don't think are associating with that mindset. So I want to like break it down and really talk about how that is affecting everybody. I've made a couple of videos in the past talking about like similar topics to this. A lot of the response is like, who cares? The sweaty gamers, they love ruining everything. I had a lot of people talk about this. It's like, no, just keep the game casual. As we start, I'm going to try to make this case to you that because of this mentality, it's not just the competitive players that suffer. It's actually everybody. It's the casuals and the competitive people and everybody involved. So let me first start by breaking down what they did to the matchmaker in the name of trying to keep it casual, okay? The two like big pieces of evidence I can point to. Number one, Chrono Shields, right? So Chrono Shields, you can only use them, I think, through like gold. Essentially, you have to lose a couple games and then you get one game where you don't lose any elo. So that's one. And then the second part of it, which is actually the bigger part, because Chrono Shields only stop at a certain point, right? So their effect is only felt in the metal ranks. The bigger portion of it is that until you hit, I think it's like Celestial, or it could even be halfway through Celestial, until you hit there, the amount of points that you lose is less than the amount of points that you gain for winning, okay? So just take, for example, if we're in GM, right? We're in GM3. You win one game, you gain like, I don't know, 22 points. And then you lose the next game and you lose 14 points, okay? Both of these tools that they've implemented, what they do is they artificially raise people's elo. And the effect of that is, hey, it's easier to get a higher rank in Marvel Rivals. As long as you put in a lot of time, you can climb with a negative win rate. I've seen people in like low Celestial who have, you know, like a 45% win rate, and it's not good. Let me explain to you why that is bad for everyone. Because right now people are like, who cares? It like that helps the casual players, right? Because I know all the casual players are like, yeah, but that means I can get the gold skin easier. You know, I'm more incentivized to play because I feel like I'm getting rewarded. I get to see my rank grow. And I'd argue that while that's true, there is a trade-off. I really want to make this clear. The trade-off is you get a higher rank. However, your actual games that you're playing, the gameplay, is worse. So from the competitive person standpoint, you're trying to win. You have 5 people, including yourself, on your team who have a positive win rate. And then you have one person with like a 42, I think was one of the lowest ones I saw, with like a 42% win rate, but they just played 1,000 games this season, and so they're here. And so you just get stomped. And so from a competitive standpoint, you're like, this is stupid. Like I literally have an anchor on my team and I cannot play and win with this. So it feels bad for the competitive. Now let me make the case for the casual player, okay? The casual player who just plays this game a lot and gets the gold skin and climbs the ranked ladder with a negative win rate, it's bad for them too, because they are losing 58% of their games. Like, that's a lot. When you go to play Marvel Rivals and you're getting stomped game after game after game, it's not fun. It's not. And so it ruins the game for casual people as well. And then you get this weird other effect in the matchmaker where like it really feels like a lottery, more so than other games. I played 5 games today and 4 of them were completely stomps, one-sided. 2 of them were stomps where we stomped the enemy team because they had somebody with a negative win rate, and 2 games were games where our team got completely stomped, and then 1 game was actually pretty even. The more that I've been doing this, I've been doing VOD reviews, I've been talking to people, we have our nice little Discord, the more that I hear these stories becoming very, very regular. It's constant. It is always happening. This is the state of the game, and that like fundamentally needs to change. So it's bad for competitive players, it's bad for casual players, it's bad for everybody involved, it's bad for the game because, like I said, when people are losing and getting stomped, they're less incentivized to actually play the game. So I just really want to like start this discussion, put it out there that this stuff needs to change. Definitely agreed. We need more hard stuck gold players. Oh, right. I need to talk about being hard stuck in a game. That's okay. It's okay to be hard stuck in a game, because in an ideal matchmaker, if you look at the stats on the back end, a matchmaker should try to end with every person who's played a sufficient number of games being about at a 50% win rate. That's considered a success, because that means the matchmaker has efficiently placed you in a spot that is your actual skill rank. If your win rate is like 70%, that means that you're in an elo that you don't belong. You need to rank up. And so the more games you play, the harder the games will get, which means you'll start losing more. And if you play enough, you should equalize out to about 50%. Same thing for the other way. If your win rate is really low and you're losing, that means you have been outpaced. The people in your elo are better than you, and so you are losing more games than you're winning. That is literally the system telling you you're not good enough to play here. That should be telling you what I'm doing is not working. I need to learn more. I need to change my play style if I want to get better. Or if I don't, that's fine. I can just chill in this elo and play at my skill level and have fun, which is, again, way more fun as long as you're in an elo where you can actually have stuff going on. It's very demoralizing to see somebody who obviously doesn't deserve their ranking being in the same ranking as you and possibly toxic on top of that. Yeah, it also breeds toxicity. Legit, the hardest rank I ever played in was Silver 1. Silver's the sanity. I had to completely switch over to full solo carry mentality because the matchmaker's skill disparity in Silver is so high. Yeah, so if anybody who doesn't believe me, we do 2 different series on this channel. So we do our regular VOD reviews, but then we also do Guess the Rank and we do Am I the Problem? So we take it slow, we watch it all the way through, and then we watch different people's perspective and see what's actually going on in the game. And like when you watch Guess the Rank, there's almost always at least 1 or 2 people in the lobby that clearly don't belong. Like their skill level as far as aim, positioning, mechanics, understanding of like tempo, how the game works, things like that. It's just not on the same level as other people, which again, it's fine to be bad. Like you don't have to have competitive, but you should play with other people who are at your same skill level to ensure that everybody's having fun. Please, NetEase, change this system for everybody, not just for the sweats. I will go halfway with you guys. I'll go half and half. I want to keep the Chrono Shields in the game so you can incentivize people to get their gold rank and their gold skin. I think that's fine. That will just make that problem only a problem in bronze, silver, and gold. That will only be a problem there. If you want to do that, fine. I totally understand. But let's remove the climbing with a negative win rate for everybody else. No climbing with a negative win rate. It helps everybody involved. Why do you think the ego problem is so bad in Rivals? Is it because everyone got to a higher rank back in season 1 when ranking was easier? Now they have a skewed perception of what their actual rank is? Yeah, definitely. I think that combined with still being able to climb with a negative win rate is just so bad. And then like there's so many little videos and like shorts. Like we're watching me play Thing. We have done so many VOD reviews of Thing players where all they know is you do the combo, right? You right click, you punch, you instantly slam, and then you right click, left click, like all of the TikTok videos. There's so much like bad information out there that just say, here's a cool combo. This is what you do on this character. And it's like, you know, a 40-second video, but it doesn't explain that in that video, you use all of your cooldowns and have no escape plan. So if it doesn't work, you die. And it doesn't show how like right here, I'm not doing any of those combos, but all I did was block the point. I literally like didn't get a kill, but I got so much value because I'm standing in the right situation. Like none of this stuff is explained. And so then people play and like have no idea what's going on. And it's just like a fact of being on the internet, I guess. I got to Diamond 2. I think I made it to GM3, but I feel like I'm approaching my cap at the current skill level. And it's so rare that I see people who are actually aware of what their skill cap is. Yeah, I think that's like part of the problem. When you're trying to learn anything, one of the most important things you can get is negative feedback. If you're trying to learn how to make a chair and you build something and you sit on it and then you fall on your butt because the chair breaks, you shouldn't think this chair is stupid and it should have worked. No, you should think I figured out a way to not build a chair, right? This way does not work. If I want to build a chair, I have to change how I think about chairs, right? You don't get mad that like this chair should have worked. No, it's like I need to build a better chair. I have to change something. But this wood is shit if I just got some decent screws. Right. Yeah. It's like the same thing as like learning math. I got this problem wrong, not because the numbers are wrong. I needed a better pencil. My teammates didn't heal me, so I got the answer wrong. It's like, no, you don't understand something going on. And so we have to fix that core issue. But if when you get a math problem wrong, the teacher says, hey, it's all right, you got that math problem wrong, you're not going to lose very much. We're actually just, you're going to pass the grade anyway. Then you're not going to learn math when you go to the next year and they say, hey guys, I know we're going to take everything you learned from last year and we're going to add to it. Now you didn't even learn the previous stuff, so now you can't learn what's going on wrong next because your teacher, the Rivals Matchmaker, rewarded you for doing the wrong thing. That's the problem. Performance SR is horrible. That's a small part of it, especially if you look at how they explained to us how they calculate rank and points. The performance calculation is done at the end, and it's a very small part of it. It's not that big of a deal as long as the performance calculation is equal on how many you win and how many you lose. Like, that really needs to be the problem. So you play 4 games, you win 2, you lose 2, you should end up at the exact same spot. You're 50%, that's what it is. If you win 2 and lose 2 right now, you will end up higher than you were before. That's the big issue. In chess, you get more elo for being a higher ranked opponent and vice versa. Rivals does the same thing, but it's complicated because the team. Do you think that form of differential elo should stay? Yes, I'm completely fine with that. The whole problem that I'm illustrating is you get people who don't belong in their elo, right? And so naturally, if you don't belong in your elo, you should lose more games, lose more points, and get to an elo where it evens out. And so that is actually a benefit. That's a positive thing because if you are a higher rated team and you're losing to a lower rated team, that means you're overvaluated. And so that is a natural correcting mechanism. I think that's fine. Feature, not a bug. I'd rather SR was a flat plus 15 for a win, minus 15 for a loss, plus 5 for the MVP. I don't agree with that. Yeah, I really don't like MVP and SVP. I don't think the system works at all. I don't think they should remove it, but I don't think people should take any info out of it. Get rid of Chrono Shields. Artificially inflating ranking is bad. Even the Chrono Shields, I'm not like too worried about because those only affect medal ranks. I get that. Ideally, I would remove them, but if people like them enough, whatever. The big problem is still just climbing with a negative win rate is so bad for the game. Your White Fox will always get MVP if everyone performs at the same level. It's true about any new character, by the way. When they released Ultron was the only person who ever got MVP. It's the same with every new character, just about. Especially true with high damage supports. Yeah, I don't know, man. The MVP SVP system, it's literally just like I don't know. What's the analogy? It's like, hey, you want a cookie? It's a gold star. That's what it is. It's a gold star for being nice in the classroom. That's it. Being honest, I don't think Rivals will ever be the game we want it to be. Maybe that's controversial. So I'm assuming when you say we, you mean us as a competitive community, right? But that's like why I want to make this video. The whole point of this video is to explain that this is not just hurting the competitive people. This is hurting everybody. This is hurting the casuals. Once again, like just to really reiterate my point, if you are a person who plays this game a lot because you enjoy it, the game will artificially put you into lobbies that you do not belong and you will have a worse time. It's so bad for the people. Like, who wants to go in and lose 58% of the games that they play, especially if they're claiming to be like casual? Like, no casual player would actively want that. It really does suck though, because this game is amazing. They've made great strides trying to change the balance of the game. Like nuking or like dropping the ult charge from down 20% was actually so good for the game. It feels so much better. Obviously, there's been some questionable like patches before and after that, but the direction of the game I think is moving slowly better each time. They finally nerfed Gambit, triple support is basically dead. They actually are listening to it. So it just takes a long time and I don't mind that at all. So I really hope they listen to us. They change the negative win rates climbing and we'll be fine. The game is the best it's ever been balancing wise. I agree. Like, so many characters are actually playable right now. Characters that haven't been playable in so long. Like Hulk is playable. It's sick. It seems like they don't want anyone in low rank and they're dead set on that. That's poopy. When a metric becomes a goal, it ceases being functional, right? So the example is you don't want anybody in low elo. But what is low elo? Low elo is people who have less experience in the game than the majority of players. That's all it is. That's what it is. So if you do that, you basically just take low elo and you give it a better name. And that's it. Gold tier skin should be at least somewhat of an achievement. Yeah. Okay. Controversial opinion. The gold skin should be. I completely agree. And like, if you want to give out free skins for everybody, give out free skins for everybody. Don't artificially inflate ranks in order to make people feel good about a skin. I think that's silly. You could also just change it to be like, okay, if you guys want a skin for playing ranked, just play a certain number of ranked games if you want to encourage that. I think that's fine. Just having a skin for gold, and then, because again, it's just like second order consequences. Because you want people to get the skin, you're ruining the gameplay for everybody. Again, point of the video, everybody be at GM instead of gold. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, it should feel like an achievement. That's like the point. Either bite the bullet and accept a decent chunk of the player base will never get the skin, or make the skins instead based on number of games played or something similar. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not worth sacrificing everybody's playtime and game time in order to give some people a feeling of satisfaction that they technically, by definition, do not deserve. Like, I want to evolve, give me a bright red color. Yeah, that'd be based. Having the good reward at GM might disincentivize people from even trying ranked, getting their feet wet. So I don't think that's a problem, because then you just need a different thing to incentivize people, right? You just have multiple layers of incentives. It's like, there's no reason to, it's like, oh, if you have a reward for these people, that means these people don't get a reward. It's just not that simple, right? You can have both. Just let them play quick play. I don't know, maybe you guys can fill me in on this, but like a year ago when this game first came out, there were so many people complaining that quick play was not sweaty enough and that people were not trying hard enough. Like, that is, if that is still in the game, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Is that they still do? That's stupid. That's so dumb. Also, like, it should go both ways. You shouldn't complain about some people sweating in quick play, because they're probably just, that's how they have fun in the game, and they're warming up for competitive most of the time, and that should be fine. And then you also shouldn't complain if somebody is not going hard. At the end of the day, you can't control other people, and you shouldn't try. It's fine to want to win. It's not fine to like yell at other people. Losing is so boring. I mean, I agree. I don't like losing, but you shouldn't complain that other people are having fun. That mindset is stupid. It's just like the idea of like trying to control other people. I want to win, so everybody else has to. I don't want to try hard right now, so nobody else gets to try hard. It's the same argument for either side. I do think this game is fundamentally different from Overwatch because it's marketing to Marvel Rivals fans rather than shooter fans. Absolutely. That is a really good point, Churro. And I think that right there explains the basis, I would assume, of the logic behind the decisions that Marvel Rivals has made in order to push people up and make people feel better. Because it is more casual. We've talked to so many people that this is their first shooter. This is their first like team game. This is their first competitive game, and they're just getting into it. That includes you. Yeah, I understand the concept, but I'm just trying to point out that there's second order consequences that's ruining the game for everybody, casual and competitive players alike. I've never played another shooter. If Psylocke wasn't in this game, I never would have touched it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are in that same boat. I just get annoyed internally, not vocally. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm not telling people to not be annoyed. Like, that's silly. I'm telling people to not be an asshole to other people and let it out. New players don't play Rivals because it's a competitive shooter. They play it because of the hero fantasy. Yeah. It is a weird predicament that the game is in. I hope they find a method to balance. I don't want to use the word balance because I don't mean like the game balance. I mean to figure out how to appease both crowds. And I really hope they listen to me and they understand that this is hurting both. They won't, unfortunately. I have faith. It might take a while. That's my plea. Hopefully they change. Hopefully they listen to us. Hopefully it's good for everybody involved, because that's what I want. I want it to be fun for everybody involved. I like the game. I want it to have a longevity to it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. God bless. Catch you next time. Bye.